What is up, gang? It is Adam here at FM Immortal, and today we're just going to be setting our game up properly in FM24. So we are lucky enough to have access to the beta version because we pre-ordered the game. I think the game releases formally on the 6th of November still. But for any brand new players who are just a bit confused as to what's going on in the setup, we'll be talking through everything that you have to consider. So the first page that you're going to be brought to when you fire up FM24 is going to include this, which is the privacy policies, which of course you can click into if you like, opt out of marketing campaigns if you want to. Then you're going to be asked if you've got the right graphics drivers for the game. I'm running an RTX 2070 on a laptop. The next thing then that you are going to do, and the first real duty, is to set up your manager. Now my name in the game tends not to change. I always opt for this guy. And then yeah, nationality then, I'm obviously named quite distinctly after one of the best right backs in Premier League history, slash centre backs, slash I think he started out as a centre forward actually. And that was the Serb himself, Branislav Ivanovic. I'm just going to say I'm from Crvenka. I don't know Serbia all that well, if I'm honest. Date of birth then, I'm just going to put in a random one. We're going to go with 77. And favourite team, so this only changes really what comes up on your feed. So for this one, I'm actually going to put in... I'm going to put in Valencia of Spain. Experience level. Now, if you're a brand new player, I definitely think you need to keep this checked. It teaches you about key management concepts. I'm actually going to uncheck that, and I'm going to go into my responsibilities where I can tailor from the off what I get involved with. Now, this is a simple way of kind of tailoring what you're going to have to do as a duty when you start a new save. I want to keep all the hiring and firing to myself. So staff recruitment is going to be my duty. Scouting, I think I want to keep as well. Transfers and contracts, I definitely don't want to delegate that because it's going to be key to managing finances. But media, I think this is one of the big ones. So new signing press conferences is good. League press conferences is good. Domestic cup press conferences maybe less so you could uncheck that one if you wanted your assistant manager to take over from you. And the broadcast interview, so that's the stuff right before and after a match, that's the one I'm going to uncheck here. Training, I'm not going to lead the youth team training whatsoever. First team training I will have. Tactics is going to be me. Match day is going to be me, I think. Can't see anything in here that youth team match day. I don't need that. Manages first team friendlies, that's fine. Youth team friendlies. So yeah, I'm just unchecking a lot of the youth team stuff here. And then yeah, I definitely want to see what set pieces are all about in this game. So I'm going to hit OK on that one. The only thing I've really done there is say I don't want to be asked questions on the way into a match. Alex Ferguson style with Carlos Queiroz, if you're old enough to remember that relationship. Alex Ferguson took the main press conferences but sent his assistant to the kind of off-field interviews on match day. This is where it gets exciting and new because I think there's going to be new elements to this that I've not seen before. You can click this button or you can go into the tab up here, which I prefer to do. So it's about setting your skin tone. I am Caucasian, so I'm going to go with that second one, I think. Probably closest to my face. Hairstyle, well, you can get really goofy with this if you want to. So, I've made my manager. I'm ready to start a new game. Now, all the features that kind of underpin your manager's characteristics don't come until you've actually started your save. So you have to pick a club first, is what I'm saying. And for the purposes of another video I'm doing, my very first club selection is going to be in the regular career mode. And I'm actually going to pick European team. I'm going to go to Portugal. I'm going to go Braga. And then we're going to choose game mode. Now this is brand new to FM24. So you've got three options here. You can go with the original way that FM works, which is The moment in time that you load the game is as accurate to the database as you are. Anything beyond that remains your game, true to your game only. The real world will take into account all the transfers that have happened beyond the date that you are starting your save. For instance, if you start at the beginning of June 2023, because the game usually gives you a summer to rebuild your squad before you get going, then you might expect Ansu Fati to join Brighton on loan from Barcelona on the exact date that he did. And if you select your world, actually nothing that happened in the summer, so nothing that happened ahead of the starting date of your save, will actually come true. So it'll just remain with the squads from the end of last season, if you will. We're going to go with original just for this because we're kind of going into one match for a test for another video, but I will go into the advanced setup on this to show you a little bit more about setting the game up properly. So the first thing your eyes will always train to in this game are these stars. The stars often depict the kind of potential or current ability of players to some degree, albeit it's not always that simple. And this also on this screen is actually depicting the speed in which the game predicts everything will run, and that's based on me having 5 playable leagues loaded. I'll have a look at some of the major leagues that are left out. So for some reason France hasn't been included, so I'm going to check that one. I also sometimes like to play in the Netherlands. I'm not going to select any of the others, I don't think. So I'm adding 2 leagues there, and what you'll see is the game speeds come down by half a star. But it's still fast, which is good. And yeah, there we go. You've got your start date here. So this is very important to pay attention to when it comes to selecting either of those other game modes, I suppose, because things that might have happened in the real world between this date and whenever you're starting may or may not come true depending on if you select your world or real world. Small database, I like to go large. Let's just have a look at what that does to game speed. So now it's gone down to good. So this is the amount of players that it's loading into the game. It will include other factions and other countries, such as the likes of Brazil and, well, South America more broadly, and Asia as well. Obviously, we've got the J-League for the first time in this game from Japan. So I'm going with large database because I just want to find as many potential wonder kids as I can as early as possible, because discovering those yourselves is always one of the best parts of this game. And then you've got your advanced options down the bottom here, talking to things like using fake players and staff to kind of make up the numbers at certain clubs. You can opt out of using the actual fixtures. I always like to keep the very first saves in the game accurate to the real world. You can disable player attribute masking. Now this is an interesting one. So this is the concept where you can't see some attributes, and you can actually turn that off so you could see everything about a player if you wanted to. And you can also you can prevent use of in-game editor as well, which actually I haven't got for FM24 yet because it's in its beta version. But we tend to buy this for experiments that we put to our channel. So next we hit start game. And that's when everything gets set up. So at this stage, you are welcomed with the manager that you're allowed to select. Now I can go back and edit this if I want to, but all that does is bring back the appearance characteristics of my manager. But we're going to use the recently set up manager, and when we select the manager there, we are brought to this page. Now this is probably the most important part of setting up your manager successfully. If you are brand new to this game, I recommend you completely keep this box checked and do not change the amount of coaching badges you have. If you really want a challenge and you are starting out perhaps at a lower league, you may see this at the kind of National B, A or Continental C license stage. Don't think I've ever found anywhere that's National C, but keeping it Continental Pro is definitely the best way of giving yourself a fair chance in your first foray into Football Manager. Past playing experience, it's good to have that. It gives you a little bit more prowess in the dressing room. But what is interesting is you have this many choices in terms of your tactical or management focus. And your focus could be on discipline, your focus could be on motivation, youth development, knowledgeable, which I think is the most ambiguous, tactician and taskmaster, which is interesting. So if I flick between these, you'll see they've all got kind of attributes below that correspond to what they bring. Now I'm going to be frank and I'm going to say that there is a best one. And I expect that it's even more important this year than ever before. And I think it's motivator. And because of the onus placed on mental attributes, which also I'm going to tick up using this slider, just the one, sometimes I'll go two, but I'm just going to do it the one just to start this off. This adaptability is important. Adaptability is how you start, basically, and if you don't start well, you don't continue well because you get sacked pretty quickly. Determination, player knowledge, people management, level of discipline, and just overall motivating, they will all pour into the performance of your players' mental attributes. Now we tested out mental attributes. Mental down here as well, getting a 12 is quite good. We could even take the goalkeepers down one, pour one more into tactical and mental. This would be more or less the perfect balance, in my opinion, of a manager on this game. But that is just based on experience and nothing actually scientific at this stage. But it's something we will look to test probably in the future. We've done a test on mental attributes themselves for players, and that is why we feel like motivation is very important. But because of the positional play changes that are coming across in FM24, we are also thinking that, yeah, tactics and motivation are going to be the two biggest differentiators in this game. And that's it. That's your complete setup. So as soon as you get past this stage where you're picking your management style focus, you can hit the start playing game, and you should be welcomed with, if it's anything like all of the other games, this screen, which has not changed. And that's the first time I've seen it. So yeah, we've been hired today as manager of Braga. So yeah, that's basically all you have to do to get going. We'll put another video out on those first steps that you take when you get to this stage. Certainly taking all this in is a good idea, particularly down in this area here where you can see your wage and transfer budget, all of that good stuff that happens at the start of every save. We'll go into more detail in our next video, but that is how you can get your manager set up for FM24 properly. One last thing is that you definitely don't need to have a meeting with your backroom staff every week. If you're brand new to the game, you can try that for a little while, but do find this option later on and move it to a monthly session because it just gets tedious. Hope that's been helpful, folks. We've got loads more videos for starting out in FM24 on the way, as well as more than 40 videos on tactics, tips and tests over on our channel already. At FM Immortal, we try and bring you, for the most part, unique videos that we think can help players old and new. But today's was more of a generic getting started video for beginners. Nevertheless, we hope that you use that optimal manager build and that it plays a vital role in all of your impending glory in this game. Do drop us a like if you found this video useful, and until next time, my friends, adios.